And welcome everyone to the Man Cave. I am Paul Knapp, and I will be your host for this evening's show. Tonight is episode number 24, and waiting in the green room, we have our special guest, Hector Ortiz. Hector specializes in decals for G.I. Joes and 1/6 scale vehicles. You can find him on eBay as Ortiz HDO, and he is also a 1/6 scale 3D printer. So we're going to find out what he's been printing up. Some channels I'd like to give a little plug out tonight. I will give, let's see, That Junk Man. If you're not familiar with him, check out his channel. And Action Fan. Action Fan collects Action Man 1/6 scale. So check out Action Fan. That's Action Fan with an F. As always, I'd like to thank my subscribers. And I am currently at 2,100, and I really appreciate that. And 3 of my newest subscribers are the Photo Viper, Lebman 56, and Ron Pardo. On July 24th, next Monday, my special guest may or may not be That Junk Man. So we're trying to get him on the schedule. And if that doesn't happen, I do have 2 other backups. So we will have a show next week. Also, next weekend is the Kentuckiana show coming up. So those of you that are attending that, maybe I'll see you there. Now, let's get on to our introductions for tonight. We have somebody new to our panel. I'm going to go with this guy first. Playing center field. He says he's a lover, not a fighter. This is Michael Maslen. People were like, who's this guy? He's a new guy to the panel, but we're going to find out later who this guy is. And playing shortstop. This gentleman attended Harvard Business School and graduated first in his class. With a big brain like that, you'd think he'd know better than to come on to my live stream show. This is Jim Egner.
Howdy, y'all. Thank you so much.
And batting third and playing first base. He grew up a poor Amish kid in central Pennsylvania until he discovered girls at the age of 16. This is Mike McCarthy.
We used to make our...
AKA Mike McFly.
Yeah, we used to make our G.I. Joes out of wood back then in the Amish community.
Oh man.
We have one more member of the band or the baseball team tonight, and he's on another live stream show, so hopefully he's going to check in pretty soon. And we also have Hector in the green room right now. But first, as always, we're going to go around the room and say what's new in the zoo. And we'll start off with this new guy. What's new in your zoo there, brother, without giving out your channel? What are you doing new with G.I. Joe, sir?
This is a prototype made of foam board. I will use Sintra when it's done. But when I did the calculations on this, I just used a ruler and measured an actual model of a Land Rover. And when I did the calculations after I was done this, I was in G.I. Joe scale 1 inch off of the actual axle wheelbase. So this will be a long wheelbase 110 like the Pink Panther when it's done.
Wow.
Dude, that's huge, man.
It is huge. It's 28 inches.
Wow.
But it's to scale.
Are you going to reinforce that or just leave it in the foam? Or
No, I'll make it out of Sintra. That's a
okay. Oh, that's your prototype. Right on. Yes. Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Awesome. I'm working on a Land Rover, but it's the Mark II style. It's the short wheelbase one.
Oh, the 90 Defender or the 88. Yeah.
Yeah. No. The old 67, the late 60s.
The Series 2 models.
Yeah, Series 2. Yeah. Yep. 2-door version. Yeah, I'm working on one of those. Yeah. If I can ever find time on the big printer. Yeah. Hey, y'all, what's up?
What's new in your zoo, Mr. Jim?
Oh, probably this. I don't know. Get it over here.
That looks like a piece to the tower, no?
Avenger Pursuit Craft.
Oh, the Pursuit Craft.
Yeah. And then this one came just straight off the printer. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah, that's your glass windshield for the the scuba diver.
Yeah, for the sea sled, the sea sled. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm working on. Resin's not my thing.
I was going to say, is that what you printed that in, resin?
Yeah, that's printed in a clear resin and then top coated with a spray acrylic. So it's tough to get stuff clear. Oh man, I've worked for months trying to come up with a formula that doesn't require massive amounts of sanding. So yeah, that's best I can do for now. So I don't know if I'll get it into the Etsy store or not. I just don't know.
Don't like the quality or what? You just,
it's pretty good. I'll have to do a few more to kind of make sure that the quality is going to be reproducible. And there's one thing to kind of do it in the lab and kind of do it as a test. It's another thing, can you recreate it in volume? And so that's kind of where I'm at now. See, I may be better off just printing a mold and casting it in acrylic or polyurethane resin.
Yeah, polyurethane. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm really not wanting to get into that. My lungs are shot. My skin, I just can't do it anymore. So we'll see what happens.
Mike, what's up with you, brother?
Well, I just picked up these awesome curtains at
I'm digging it, man.
Yeah, convention out with that in Tallahassee, Florida. Also, we got this really cheap here. We got one of the Lost Hall of Fame figures. It's Guile from the movie, and I mean, he just looks like another GI Joe. He doesn't really look like Jean-Claude Van Damme or anybody else. Been picking up the Hall of Fame mission gear. It seems lately people are like fire sailing it. Nobody else wants it but me. So
I remember when I was trying to put all those together, they were still kind of pricey, and now you're getting a deal, bro.
Yeah, that's about it though. I mean, I got a couple reviews I need to work on. A couple more Hall of Fame stuff and things I'm working on, and then I need to buy some more vintage stuff and do some 60s, 70s videos.
Well, Hector Ortiz sent me on a mission. He said if I go to that show next week, I got to find some naked 1964 GI Joes for him because he's trying to put a bunch back together. So that's my mission next week at the Kentucky show. So we have 10 people watching us live right now. And Jonathan, you're the only one chimed in. Hey, Skull Reviews. There's Peter. How you doing, brother? Jonathan's a local youth who collects 1/6 scale, which I found very ironic. We don't see too many of the kids still collecting 1/6 scale, but he was really into it. And he was actually challenging the AOA to put together a diorama. I don't know if anybody wants to do anything over the summertime, but he hit me up. He said, how come? He goes, he wanted to get involved and do a diorama like military because we're all adventure team stuff. And I was like, I can ask, man, and see what it has, see if anybody's interested. So, all right, we're done with introductions. I'm still waiting for person number 5 to show up, and he's late. So I'm going to go with our intro for our special guest tonight. Let's bring him on board. Sir, you are the pitcher for tonight. Pitching to tonight's game. He can only stay on the show until the street lights come on or his mother calls him in for dinner. This is Hector Ortiz. Welcome aboard, Hector. Welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me.
I was watching in the green room there, and after I did those introductions, I was afraid you were going to hang up, man. I didn't know you were going to stick around, but thanks for sticking around. So before we get started, do you want to just give a little plug and let people know who you are, where you are, before I start off with our questions for tonight?
Well, I've been a G.I. Joe fan all my life. My parents bought G.I. Joes when I was little. And, but it was either G.I. Joes or Matt Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Mason's, we had all those toys, and I wish I still had them, but mostly G.I. Joes. And, my fondest memories were, my parents never really wrapped their gifts for Christmas. So you knew that when you got up in the morning, you walk in the living room by the tree, and all the gifts were put nicely on the couches and chairs and tables, but you knew exactly what you were getting. And every time was G.I. Joe. So kind of died off, early on. When they stopped making them, they went back in storage. But I tell you, once it mid-90s came around, or when they started bringing out, when the first Target Duke came out back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Just brought those memories back, and then I found Coswell, and and I was like, I was in heaven. So, that's
it looks like you gave Cotswold some money behind you, bro.
I know.
I recognize some of that stuff, and I know I bought it from him.
Oh yeah.
So it got me back in the game. So
Yeah.
I was telling Paul earlier today that I was collecting both the 3 3/4 and 12-inch, and my wife was like, "Okay, honey, you gotta make a choice here. We can't do both." So hey, I stay with my legacy and stay with the 12-inch figures.
Great. Bjorn, you just joined us. Thank you, sir. Thanks for chiming in. I didn't know if Largo's live stream was over right now. We're still waiting for old Will to show up. Hopefully he's going to be here. Oh, wait. I see somebody in the green room. Oh, let's see if his microphone and hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, how are you? Sorry I'm running late. Jim lost power or something happened to him. One of those catastrophes right towards the end of the show, and I had to keep it going. So
there's 3 things you don't want to be late for: church, chow, and my show. So
I'm sorry,
I think you got to drop and give us 20 or something like that, man. I had a good introduction for you too, Will. You want to hear it?
Yes, I love your.
All right, you were number 4, so you're batting cleanup and playing right field. He's known as the master of disaster. He'd rather be riding his skateboard than being on my show. This is William McLaughlin.
Thank you.
Better late than never, I guess. Yeah. I'm just poking the bear, right?
Of course, I love your intros.
I work all week on those, bro. I really do. Well, welcome to the batting order.
Well,
we have 6 people in the house tonight, and Michael. Let's see. Yeah, right next to you, Will. Michael has watched the show probably since we started. This is episode 24, but nobody knows his name because he doesn't use that as his YouTube handle. So our game tonight is, who is this gentleman as we go along? And anybody that chats in and can guess who Michael is, I am going to send them. This comes from Angelo D'Annabelle. These are his first copies of his comic books that he put out years ago before he even had a YouTube channel. So I got a series of those. This is the Coils of the Ruby, and these are the first edition ones. And I'm going to send those to whoever can guess who Michael is.
I think I figured it out, but I'll keep my mouth shut. I did see Sergeant Soldier's in the house. All right.
Sergeant Soldier. Glad to see him back. Haven't heard from him in a while. Ed, how you doing, buddy? Will, you had a great show the other night with Ed and Largo, and Largo's there.
Yeah.
Men's health, man. Men's health. I tell you what.
That was a very interesting subject, and one that Jim brought up, and I was very excited to be a part of. But upon really, that was a real discussion, and listening to Jim and Ed talk about that, really put me in a kind of I clammed up. I couldn't talk about it. It really did. It really hit.
I kind of saw the look on your face, brother. Yeah. I was like, hey, man.
I turned white. My heart started racing. I got real I was like, oh my God, these guys are talking about me. And I was like, did Jim Largo read my diary?
Talking about men's health. Men don't talk about their mental health. We're supposed to be tough, and it's always nice to have somebody to ping off of, That's why I use all these guys, If I didn't have these guys, I wouldn't have anybody, so. Hey, Hector.
Yes, sir.
Do you know this Hector Ortiz up here, or is that you texting in? Or is that Hector Ortiz Jr.?
Oh, I know. My son's on.
So you got a family. Yeah. You got a fan here, huh? You brought your own fan club tonight. I see how this.
I thought Hector was just kind of promoting himself.
No, I got my kids joined then, and I got my wife. I think my wife's watching too, so I have to be good.
Well, hi.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. First time joining us. And my first question for our guest tonight: how did you get started with your eBay store? I know you have an online eBay store. I think that's where I first met you and dragged you into this. So why don't you talk a little bit about that for a second, all right?
Well, eBay, actually just started out, I started downsizing my collection, it really got quite large. And then when I retired 2 years ago, I was looking for something to keep me busy, and I started making stickers for my figures and my vehicles. And one day I said, well, maybe I put some of this on eBay and see if they, and see what happens. and you know, and they do pretty well actually. I saw a couple of their stickers and reproductions of decals for vehicles and adventure teams. So it just kind of evolved into it. But a few pieces of equipment to help me the die cut and print them. So in fact, I just upgraded my printer last week. I got a new printer. So that's pretty much how it kind of worked up, and I retired, so that gets me a little busy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, when I was looking to refurbish and redo those big gym vans, I was just searching on eBay and found you. And then I pinged off of Pat, who just chimed in here, Pat from Elite Action Joe Studios. He said every one of his custom decals are made from you. So
cool.
I was like, well, if Pat has them, he trusts them. It's got to be good. And I did it. And then we went on to our second vehicle, the SWAT vehicle, man. And you knocked it out of the park on that one, man. I
appreciate it. Thank you.
They turned out really good. So any questions for Mr. Hector?
I've got one. Go, Michael.
Michael, you're first, man.
I was just going to mention that with Patches of Pride no longer running, I think Hector will fill a nice hole with it. We've needed filling. So
yeah. If you have anything that you want made, or all I need is a picture, a PDF, you know, and we can work it from there. There was a gentleman that wanted a specific decal. It was something like Paul kind of reached down the side, and he was looking for a specific decal they wanted to make, and we kind of built it up from almost like from scratch. My son's wife, is very good about Photoshop. So sometimes if I hit a snag, she kind of jumps in and helps me out. So, you know, we can work around anything pretty much, almost anything.
Yeah. Jim, you had a question?
Oh, I'm always fascinated by the technology people use to do these sorts of things. Do you use something like a Cricut to do the die cutting with, or?
Yes, I do actually. It's a Cricut that I use, and it works really good. In fact, they just came out with a new version. I think it's that Maker 3. About a year or so ago, and I upgraded to that version, and it works really good actually. I mean, it's one of those machines that you have to continue to calibrate it and work through any glitches, but for the most part, it does a very good job.
We have here in Nacogdoches, we have a local university that has a maker space that has a Cricut in there, and I might have been known to cut a sticker or two with it, but I find it very frustrating to use. I'm glad you figured it out. So
it took. I have to be honest. Working with a Cricut it has a learning curve initially. I have to admit that I was on the phone with them several times, or chatting with them several times, trying just to get it right. But once you get it going, once you understand the machine, it works really good.
Very cool.
And it really cuts. But it cuts metal, it cuts wood, leather, so it has a lot of uses besides stickers and decals.
Okay, that's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Ed, glad you could join us. Pat already mentioned Logic Blaster. I guess he got off work on a Monday. Hey, Logic Blaster, how you doing, brother? Glad
hey,
you join
love
us.
Logic Blaster's channel.
Yeah, I know, man. So, hey, again, for those of you that are just joining us, we bumped it up to 14, 15 people now. If you know this gentleman down here on my left, your right below Jim, if you might know what, I don't know, what would you say, follower of this channel is? He's not chatting in right now because he's on the show. So that should kind of narrow it down to at least a couple people that have been on the show before. Michael, you want to give him maybe one hint right now at the beginning of the show? How about tell him where you're? Well, if you tell him where you're from, that could probably give.
Well,
away.
I can say that where I'm from, I managed to collect GI Joes and Action Man almost equally.
There you go.
Okay.
Remember, Andy and Indy, if you guess who this follower is, you get a 4-set copy of the GI Joe AT from comic books from Angelo D'Annabelle, his first release. So let's get back to our special guest. You guys have any more questions before I go through my list?
No, Paul, you know me. I'm going to just jabber his ear
Yeah,
off.
no, I mean that's how I like to run the show.
You go.
I think Will's just mad at my introduction for him. So he's not saying anything down there.
Oh no, I loved it.
Hey, Will, you're not going to the Kentucky show next week, right? Or you are?
I am not. No, I'm sorry. I wish I could.
I'm sure Largo's not going to make that trip, right?
No.
from where he's at. All right. How long have you been involved with some of those Facebook pages? I know we said we're friends on a couple of those. Do you know how long you've been Facebook? The G.I. Joe Facebook?
It really just a few weeks.
Really? So you're fairly new. Yeah.
After we met and you asked me if I had a Facebook page and I didn't have one. And I told my wife, I guess maybe a good idea to get a Facebook page. So we set one up, or we created one. We set one up. My son and his wife Anthony helped me kind of set it up a little bit, and make it nice because I have no clue. So I'm kind of new to the Facebook field, so I'm still learning.
But you said you went to a lot of conventions though before, right? You just weren't a
conventions.
You weren't a vendor though. You were just going as
just an attendee. Yeah. Comic-Con, we're leaving tomorrow for Comic-Con. Looking forward to that.
Okay.
It's always great. It's going to be our third Comic-Con that we attend. The DFW show, that was always a must to go to. I go to 3D printing shows just to look around and see what's going on. Toy shows, it's great. I also look forward to, whenever we go someplace looking for antique shops or thrift shops, looking and see what I can find. I was just telling Paul, when he goes to Kentucky, there's a place down in Kentucky, there's an antique mall, but it's only toys. And they got great stuff. So I'm always on the prowl, always looking around.
That's already on my list of things when I go to Louisville.
You won't be disappointed. I tell you, that's like
Churchill Downs, Louisville Slugger, Antique Mall.
That you won't be disappointed. That place is awesome.
Andy and Indy said it's going to be his first exo. Are you talking about the Kentucky show coming up or Atlanta? So hopefully he'll answer that. Mm-hmm. Any other questions for Hector? I don't want to steal the show here.
I can't help it, Paul. You just leave it wide open over here, dude.
Ask away, man.
All right, I hear you do 3D printing, Hector. Tell us about your equipment and what you make.
Well, I make everything 1/6 scale. So what I try to do is I look around my collection. I say, well, maybe this will look good with this, and this will look good with that. So I kind of put it together from that point forward. I have two machines. I have a Lostbot Mini printer, and I have a Task Pro, which is a larger printer. So on my smaller printer, I kind of print smaller things. On my larger printer, I'll print larger things. But I'm always thinking on how to improve my setups in my room. I'm not sure if you guys can look behind me right here. I kind of put a little sample for you guys. These are some of my projects. Can you see that? Nope. There you go.
Yeah, right there. Yep, right there.
Oh wow, those radios look great.
Yeah. So I created.
And those are crates for
some
missiles?
crates. Yeah, some crates for G.I. Joe. There's a crate there that has the the missiles for the Green Beret bazookas.
Yep.
It's like a reproduction for those.
I'm looking at the radio tower with the light on it.
Yeah.
Is that a light? Is that a light tower or is that a radio tower?
That's a prototype right now. I'm working on a weather station for G.I. Joe.
Very cool. Adventure team.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's my weather station. Let me see if I can get a better angle on it. Right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
see it?
Yep.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that's like a weather station.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So that's my next project. I also created a light set for outdoors, where you have two light poles. I'm not sure if you can see them there. It's got two light poles that work.
Yep.
And it comes fully assembled and fully put together. It's got 2 lights, plus it's got a light inside the box, and it's all the stickers and everything on it. You also over here we got those orange boxes. I tried to recreate the GI Joe, like the Tiger boxes, those orange and black lid boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's something similar to that. They're a little bit bigger, but then I put together some stickers on that's, expedition or it can say expedition supplies or medical supplies or things like that.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
And you can find these. I'm gonna plug it in, but you can find these on eBay. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, what am I looking for on eBay? Who am I looking for here?
You just have to look up my name is Ortiz HDO.
Ortiz HDO, one word.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And, so these
Yeah.
come, they come out.
Yep.
So
No,
it's a bit larger, so it gives them more space.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I put in these are water slide decals, so you can put out if you want or you don't like it is.
Yeah.
One of my newest also was my Pelican style box.
Oh wow.
So,
Excellent.
Oh, with
I like
the
that.
lid attached. The lid
Yeah.
Oh,
attached.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, the lid opens, it closes, and it comes with the decals, decals already on it, and I put a silver and black just to see what it looked like, but it can, I put a red, the normal Adventure Team logo on it, the red and black will come on it, or if you like the silver and black, that's fine too. I can make them both.
That would go really nice in that SWAT vehicle I just made.
Yeah, and I can make this any size. This one measures about 5 inches long, but it can be made any size. And,
Looks like a Yeti cooler for GI Joe.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one that I've been working on.
Other side. Yep, right there. Yep. Good.
So this is the
That's cool.
Bazooka rounds. Yeah.
the bazooka rounds, like for the Green Beret. It comes with it's going to come with a crate and the 4 rounds, like you see.
Very cool.
Wow.
Very
So
cool.
Sergeant Soldier would love some of those for his Vietnam diorama. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
well, I tell you, you can't go wrong with Green Berets. I picked up one a while back, and right now I have like 9 Green Berets. So that's my go-to guy.
That is awesome. Green
Yeah.
Beret of the military era. That's my fave.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
sure
like
you can
the,
see them
weather
right.
station.
If you can see them right there,
Wow.
Yep.
Yep.
Those are my Green Berets right there.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Mike, you got anything? Oh,
Yeah.
Michael got one. Yeah.
The weather station and radio setup is what I was trying to do with those things I showed you before the show,
Mhm.
the styrene things, because I love old Adventure Team, but some of the sets tended to get a bit too unrealistic, a bit silly. And what Hector has done there is he's on the same line of thinking that I am in terms of giving the Adventure Team that gear that they needed, but a bit. It's fantastic, and it needs to be, because I always thought the Adventure Team were ahead of everybody else with computers and stuff. But there's a limit to how, when fantastic becomes ridiculous.
Sure.
And I like that
Yeah.
lawnmower that you fly, that set that they had. Yeah.
Can you hold Michael? Can you hold those up that you made? And I'm gonna bring you up larger here so people can see those.
I just made some styrene
Yeah. But
boxes. This was actually supposed to be like a seismograph and meteorology type thing, and this was supposed to be a radio. And then
That's pretty cool, actually. That's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I like
I
them.
built a battery box
Yeah.
that will attach to solar panels, and I just picked up some evergreen styrene that's in the 1/8 inch grid pattern,
Mhm.
and that will be painted black, and that will form the solar panels for this system.
Yeah.
very cool.
Very nice.
And we're halfway through the show, so it's time for you to give another clue, brother. because nobody's guessed.
Okay, well,
And I'm gonna let Jim even guess after this because I'm guarantee you I know who you're gonna guess, and it ain't that person. But go ahead.
Really? Okay.
I like football, but I like two types of football: the English Premiership. You guys call it soccer, and I love the CFL. I'm a diehard Toronto Argonauts fan.
Go ahead, Jim. Take a guess. Take a wild guess.
I was going to say Big Boss Jack.
I knew you were going to say that.
That was my guess too.
That was my guess also.
He's not on the show tonight, apparently, because he'd normally be chatting in by now.
Yeah,
and I think he would guess who I am. Big Boss Jack would know who I am.
Oh, you guys have contacted outside of this before?
No, just on this chat.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, I got to look at who's not here again.
Exactly, man. So if anybody's normally just watching the show and not chatting in, start sending some chats in and send your guesses in so I can send you these G.I. Joe from AT. I wonder if he's watching tonight. I haven't seen him chat in yet. So, hey, Hector, when you're selling your stuff on eBay, I mean, I don't know if you get in contact with many people. I know you said you haven't done many shows as far as a vendor, but are you seeing more, or do you hear more of the younger population, or is it just us old guys still?
What was that a question again?
As far as buying, the 1/6 scale stuff, do you see more? Is it adult collectors still, or is it you get more youth involved with the?
No,
the
it's
1/6?
mostly it's mostly adult collectors.
Yeah.
It's sad, but I remember I had so much fun playing G.I. Joe with my friends in the backyards, and it's so many fun memories that and even my kids, they all had, when they were growing up, they all had G.I. Joes, but they're little G.I. Joes, but they're still G.I. Joes. So they're all very familiar with the brand and with the figures. It's just mostly adult collectors, sadly.
Yeah. Jim, did I ask you that last week when you were at the Dallas show? Did you see a lot of youth coming through, or is it still?
Yeah, there was a lot of 3 3/4 inch interest, and that meant a lot of guys in their mid 30s with their kids, which are going to be 6, 8 year olds. I saw a lot of that, and that's mostly, back in the corner where I was. That's mostly what was being bought and sold.
Yeah. Will, how about you when you were at Joe Fest? What did you see?
There, it was mostly the 3 3/4 inch stuff. I mean, there was boots with everything, even stuff that's beyond G.I. Joe. But for the most part, there were only a couple. I was on the lookout for some 12-inch stuff for Largo, and there wasn't much there, and what was there wasn't very. We're looking for kind of played with stuff that maybe needs a little bit of restoration, but you can get it for a decent price. They had some really nice box samples, but the prices were really high up there. So,
what about the people that were there though? Did you see a lot of younger kids, or was it mostly older people?
Mostly people around, my age, 30s, 40s, 50s. Yeah. I'm closer to 50, but only a couple people had kids with them. And, like I said, I had the pleasure or displeasure of, actually setting up a booth at a toy show where I am. And I sold nothing the whole day. And most of my stuff was like 80s and 90s, action figures and stuff like that. But the two Funko Pop booths to the left and to the right of me were busy with the little kids all day. Everyone that walked in with a family, they left the 2 bags of those, and I'm looking at these people. I was like, I'm in the wrong business here because, the crowd just wasn't there for me.
That's kind of how Dallas was for me a little bit. I think I was the odd duck in the whole thing because I was doing 3D printed replica stuff. So I think people were there shopping for the original. That's what I would have done.
Yeah. I love 3D printed stuff. I think that's, as you can see, there's one right behind me. Yeah. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful tool for enhancing and, completing your collection, because I really don't mind so much if it's a reproduction part, or, we take that and put a little twist on it and make it something completely new and different, just like Hector did there, changing the size of something to make it fit what you want, or adding something that never existed before. Absolutely fascinating.
I'm just looking at Hector's weather station. Man, this thing is awesome.
Yeah. That's
It's
amazing.
gonna
You have that on eBay already? On eBay already?
Not yet. I'm still working on it. I have to put
So-
some. I'm gonna put some lights on it. So it's my light. I'm gonna put a flashing light on the very top, red light.
Yeah.
You know, on the very top, and put some lights on the box below. So I'm still working.
Well, I guess the one I'm looking at is it says the 1/6 scale custom GI Joe Adventure Team themed outdoor spotlight and generator.
Oh, that's a spotlights. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, that is
spotlight.
Those are
cool.
great.
Y'all need to go
It
check
even
that
comes-
out.
Yeah,
Michael, go
even
for it.
Comes with a little fire extinguisher.
Yep.
Hector, how much would you be charging for something like that weather station on eBay?
You know, right now I'm selling the spotlight for about $79.99 on
Okay.
eBay. And I have to be honest, there's not a big profit margin on it. I enjoy doing it, so I'm not looking to get rich out of it. To me, it's fun, keeps me busy, and you know, and to me, everyone that I make is kind of unique because sometimes I'm going like, oh, I can do this different, or I can put this here, looks better. So you know, now for the weather station, probably the same price, probably.
Okay.
You know, it's gonna have the lights on it, and you know, and all those pieces. So maybe a little bit less because it won't require as much. The spotlight has 2 different light posts on its side. This one is not gonna have that, so maybe a little bit less than that when I put it on eBay.
Very cool what you're doing there. Very cool. I was
Thanks.
looking at your whole store there, and it's lots of neat stuff.
Go ahead, Will.
Hector, so absolutely just love all the stuff so far. But when you're choosing to design something like you decide to do the weather station, what's your inspiration for that? Is it like you're just thinking, wouldn't it be cool if I had this for my Joes and they didn't make that, or is it they made it but they is like too small or not the right size, so I'm going to just make it my own? And then when did you make the decision to go from making them for your collection to selling them online?
Yeah. Well, good question. Thanks. So you're right on it. I look at my collection and I'm going, hey, this would probably be pretty cool for the adventure team, to be out there in their mobile support vehicle and, to have something, because the adventure team was all about adventures, and being outdoors. So the spotlight, I was customizing one of my MSVs one day. I was putting lights on it. In fact, I'm not sure if you guys can see it right there. So
the adventure team vehicle, with your lights on.
Right, this one right here.
Yeah.
So I was putting some lights on it, and I was like, this is pretty dark in this. Besides the light on the top, it's pretty dark. So I put lights on the top. I put lights inside, and then I was thinking, I said, well, if GI Joe is on the outdoors, and how can they see? So the idea of spotlights came up to my mind. I'm going, hey, I can do this. So I started playing with it. You won't believe the prototype, the first one that I made.
Sure.
It looked pretty bad, but it worked. The lights came on, and it works. It's kind of evolved from there. And then the weather station was pretty much the same thing. I was like, hey, GI Joe, Adventure Thing has some sets that had to do with weather recovery or weather, was weather team.
Yeah,
So,
hurricane spotter.
So
definitely.
I was like, I can put a weather station together where it's kind of lit up and kind of larger, and for outside for the figures, makes a nice piece for diorama. So I just kind of look and see how can I improve my set, and I go from there.
Real quickly, I got to cut in here.
Go ahead.
Peter guessed Andy and Indy, and Michael, you're not Andy and Indy because Andy and Indy is actually chatting in with us, so there was a little confusion there. So no, Logic Blaster, you didn't make a guess yet who that might be. Playscale also said he's going to be at the Kentuckiana show, so or he was last year, and he said it's a good split between all the 12-inch stuff and 3 3/4. So hopefully I'll be able to pick up some of that. Go ahead, Will.
Oh, so just another one for Hector. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Yeah.
So designing the the models yourself. Is that something that you did professionally, or is that a background you come from, or is that something that you taught yourself
I
when you had the desire to create? Because that's kind of my story.
Yeah.
You know, I just kind of figured it out myself.
yeah, to me it's kind of on the job training, you know,
Cool.
pretty much. So, you know, when I designed the weather station, I went online and I looked up weather stations, you know, and I never realized there was a water bucket to measure the water. You know, you have the air meter, you have the wind meter, you have the solar shields. I never realized all those things were out, you know, were part of weather stations. So I even learned a few things myself by doing that research. So after looking those weather stations that I found online on the pictures, then I began the process to design the one I was working with.
Very cool.
Excellent.
With the weather we're having across the United States right now, you need to make one of the wet ball heat index indicator. You know, we got one of those set up behind the command right now, the wet ball, dry ball thing, and it's, you know, so. Michael, give me another clue, man. You're from Canada, obviously. We narrowed that one down, right? What else? What else can we say? You're not Big Boss Jack. You're not Andy from Indy.
Well, Jeff has mentioned me quite a few times on.
I was going to go there, Jeff.
And he's actually going to do a review on a ration pack I made. I made a 1/6 scale 24-hour ration pack, and when you open up that box, there's about 12 individually wrapped items in there, and everything's been printed. So everything from biscuits to coffee to entrees. And I was actually going to put those together, but they are a bitch to cut, score, and glue to do them. So I'm going to simplify it. But yeah, I am from Canada, and I'm typically on this chat every Monday.
I was going to say, I pretty much see you every Monday, man. So
yeah.
And Jim, you've been on the last couple of weeks, so you see who chats in. So
yeah, my memory is not that good, but would pop be part of the name?
Say again.
Would pop be part of the name?
Oh, you mean Pop Locks? No, it's not Pop Locks. He's from Pennsylvania, man. He's not even close to Canada.
Man,
one thing
I don't know where
I will say.
What about would it be Action Man Studios?
Ooh,
No.
Good guess though, but no.
One thing I will say is my name. I had my system hacked some time ago, so I'm going to be changing my YouTube name because my name has appeared next to some pretty nasty comments and things in other pursuits that I take part in, and I need to distance myself from that name because I don't want to be known as that guy.
It is not Tim, because Tim is in Seattle, Washington, Mr. Skull Reviews. 87 Spuds?
No.
Are you 87 Spuds?
No. I don't eat potatoes anymore.
All right, Hector, back to you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Do you store most of your collection right where you're at? Are we looking at most of your collection, or are you like me? Do you have half of it in the attic, half of it in storage, half of it?
I have some in the garage right now, my excess in the garage. But for the most part, this is well, my closet's pretty full. But right now, this is my pride and joy right here.
The wife won't let you spread out across the house yet? No.
No.
Well, you see what Mike has to do. He's got curtains. He's got to hang up over top of her curtains, just to, just for the show, and then he has to take them down real quick before he gets home.
Yeah. I'm gonna put them up in the back room, but the Wi-Fi isn't so good back there, so I hang out here.
Very specific rules about that.
How about you, Will? You were spread out over the house for a little bit there. You were telling me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this is my dining room. I'm in the middle of my dining room right now. My kitchen's right there. My living room's right there. But I've got two glass display cases, two bookshelves in between them, and on that wall, two bookshelves on this wall, an entire garage full of stuff, and then a storage unit. So yeah, I'm packed out.
But who needs a dining? I mean, who really uses dining rooms anymore, right?
What happened was during COVID, my wife she went work from home, So she kicked me out of the bedroom. I had my desk and everything set up there. So my dining room table became my desk temporarily. And here we are several years later, and I'm still over here. So she locks me out of the room all day while she's working, and I'm stuck here. And I still haven't figured out a way to climate control my garage so I can move into there. But
Yeah, as you can
I've
see,
tried,
my face is turning red because I'm still in the garage, and
yeah, I've tried a couple things, but you
a couple
know,
fans going, but it's not AC'd here. So.
no, you need AC. It gets
Yeah.
hot.
Skull Reviews threw in another guest for you, Michael. Bono 275. Are you Bono 275?
I'll give you.
I have a feeling Peter right now is on another computer going through my old
He's
live
watching.
streams and seeing who all tied in, and he's trying to guess it.
Yeah,
You mentioned Micronauts a lot.
I know. Yep,
That's
that's
It's
an
the
easy
one
one.
toy, G.I. Joe and Micronauts. I mean, there's things like Lego and Star Wars growing up, but Micronauts and G.I. Joe Action Man are it for me. And the only thing that stopped me from collecting them is buying a time traveler can be $400 for one
yeah.
3 3/4 inch figure. So I can't do it.
Yeah.
I need
Hector, any
Joe.
other toys you collected as a kid besides G.I. Joe? Any favorite toy?
Matt Mason.
Matt Mason. Okay, you said
Matt-
that earlier. Yeah.
I'd say, but they're so expensive now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you found on eBay, it's like, oh my gosh. But Matt Mason was, we had other vehicles, other figures too. Really enjoyed Matt Mason back in the day. Really, really did. So if I had a second favorite toy, Matt Mason.
Yeah. How about a good childhood memory? We always like to hear those, man. Give me a good childhood memory that you.
You know, my when it comes to childhood memories and G.I. Joe, the best ones are all come together. You know, to me, it was going to the backyard and putting up the tent, like the White Tiger hunt tent, putting it out there and playing with the figures out there. I can't tell you how many times I slept outside because G.I. Joe went to sleep. So I went outside and I slept next to G.I. Joe. You know? So
That's
it was
awesome.
just it was just too much fun. I really enjoyed it, and I think kids nowadays they're really missing out on this.
Oh yeah.
On your letting your imagination run and enjoy it and have fun. I think that, you know, to me, that just made my childhood, you know, like it was, you know, enjoying it outside and playing, and you know, it was just fun.
Michael, did you see that Logic Blaster just took?
I did, and the Palisades reproductions are pretty much the way to go, because getting mind you, the vintage vehicles are cheap. It's the figures that are expensive.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got one.
Go for it.
Hector, had you ever thought about doing 3D printing, making like the little watchtowers for a Real American Hero G.I. Joe, or the Bivouac set?
I can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Never thought about it really. My focus has always been the 12-inch figures.
Yeah, I'm in a 12-inch myself, but I just think of it as a money thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Will, that was a 3D printed one behind you?
Yeah, that was one I just found on for free on Thingiverse. That was the Checkpoint Alpha that came out. That's He-Man. We got to take him out of there, but yeah, that's a Checkpoint Alpha, the G.I. Joe mini playset, and that's a scaled up version right there that I was doing for Largo for his 6-inch figures.
Yeah,
but
what I need to do is
you could just upscale it.
Yeah, you just give me an idea. Make that a 12-inch version.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you could easily do that, right?
Either that, or I've seen a couple 3 3/4-inch versions of like the Adventure Team headquarters and stuff like that, because we do have the commemorative collection 3 3/4-inch figures that look like the Action Soldier and the so just again as a money-making venture.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people looking for hero stuff.
You can do that, Michael. Like that.
Hector should print this. It'll only take about 2 years.
At some point.
You need 2 more printers for that one, bro.
That will be a little while for that one.
Any other questions? I got one or two more before we go into our game. We got a game tonight too. We got some trivia.
I just want to say that listening to Hector, I enjoy all these episodes, but this one I'm thoroughly enjoying because, and I don't want to sound like a cliche here, but there's people that enjoy this stuff, and there's people that, I mean, it's almost like he wishes he was a kid again, and you have to love that.
Oh yeah,
the passion is huge there.
You know, it's funny you say that because sometimes I'm here, you know, I'm going, man, I wish if I could have a time machine and know what I know now, and go into Kmart or Sears or JCPenney back in the day, and just, you know, just looking at the shelf full of the GI Joe figures and sets, man, that would be like, you know, would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I remember going into the Sears in our local, it wasn't even a mall back then, and it was a whole wish book is what they called it. And
yeah.
I see on the commercials. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, Jim, you did some vacuum forming. Was that? Did you ever try a vacuum forming with G.I. Joe stuff, or was it just the Star Wars?
A little bit. I used to vacuum form and silicone mold making and resin casting, mostly Star Wars costume parts. But I did do a vacuum formed version of the six-wheeler, the ATV. It didn't turn out great, so it was an experiment.
Well, you know what I was thinking of? Do you remember the Defender bunker was vacuum formed back in the day?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. I was in the 66.
Yeah. Well,
I'd love to see that in 3D print, but this way it'd be solid and not vacuum formed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a couple of those things I've been working on. The Hard Point or something like that, I think was the Defender's name for that. And then there's the I'm kind of on a sea sled thing at the moment, and there's the Cave. That thing's huge. Yeah. And so I'm kind of working on those. But I've got my big printers acting up on me right now. So. and you know, Hector said he uses a Taz lulls. We've got those up in our makerspace. Those are workhorses, man. Those things just keep going. We've got 3 of them that are 8 years old.
Oh wow!
And they run. Well, it's the Taz 6s. It's the predecessor to the Pro.
Yeah.
Those things have been running literally every day for the last 6-8 years. It's just unbelievable how they
yeah, like I was telling you, some of these prints can take 24 hours to print.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to close the door in my room because otherwise you keep watching TV and you're going you know, all over the place. So but you're right, they're workhorses. I mean they work very well. You know, you have your issues here and there, but for the most part they do a good job.
Now, you have far fewer issues with those Taz machines than you have with these Creality ones that I use.
Oh.
Yeah, they break down all the time.
Yeah.
Fun
Any
stuff.
Other questions?
You talk about long prints, that Space-O-Matic right there. Yeah, that takes forever to print. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
there was a lot of parts to that, though, too, right? It wasn't one unit. Yeah, you had to print every single little part.
It's 25 or 30 parts, yeah.
Yeah. You got to explain to Will's too young. He doesn't know the Space-O-Matic. You got to explain that one to him. So.
Oh, okay. Are we still guessing who Michael is?
You can't. You can throw it out there. Is anybody? I didn't look in the chats.
I'm out of guesses.
Nobody's guessing. We got 20 people watching, and nobody's throwing guesses out. All right.
My YouTube name was derived from the degree I took at university when I became disabled in 2016. I went to university at the age of, God, what was I? 49.
I was going to say, because your YouTube channel is not related to G.I. Joe.
No.
In the name, like a lot of the other guys are. So
I had a
it sort of is. It sort of is. When I explain it, you'll get it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that's your last guess for tonight.
Yeah,
Hector,
I'm out of guesses there.
I'm remembering somebody who had a screen name that started with philosopher, and I'm thinking,
yeah,
I don't know.
I know you're gonna kick yourself in the butt when he says it. You're gonna be like, oh shit, he does text in every time, man. So
yeah,
if he's not the first one on, Big Boss Jack is the first one on. They're like, or newbie gamer Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're all Canadian. All three of you guys are Canadian, I think. Isn't Big Boss Jack from Canada?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought he
may
was.
be.
I think he was, and now he lives in like Georgia, but maybe he
really?
was from.
Yeah. I think he is in Georgia. Yeah.
But he was. I think he was from Canada.
I was right. I didn't want to say it, but I think we got it.
Somebody did some guesses. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What do you? They didn't actually type it out right, but Mike, you want to, Michael?
Yeah. So it's geography in action, and what it was is I took physical geography, which is hydrology and weather systems and all that stuff. I had to use my big brain, but I was a diehard Action Man guy, and a lot of what we did at university was actually out there in the Canadian wilderness and going to lakes and research centers and stuff in remote places. So I sort of tied the geography and my love of bushcraft and overlanding and stuff and being out in the bush and called myself Geography in Action. But
very cool.
And I lost my legs last 2 years, so I'm not really doing much of that right now.
Wow.
I'm sorry to hear
So
that.
I guess Andy and Indy, you just beat Pat. So I will be bringing these to the show in next weekend. So hopefully you hit me up if you'll be at the Kentuckiana, and I will hand those to you.
Let's see. That show is when, Paul?
Friday, Saturday. So it's the 28th in the evening if you buy the early ticket, and then you get in for the Saturday show as well. So it's the 28th and 29th.
So not this weekend, but next
July. Yeah, next weekend. So
gotcha.
Monday the 24th, we'll still have a guest on, and then I'm heading out of town. So, all right, gentlemen. Hector, thanks for being with us tonight. I'm going to play a little trivia game with you here, if it's okay.
Ah, crap.
Yeah, this is where Jim does not like to participate, but Jim's internet usually goes out right about now.
I'm having some mic problems.
See, I told you. All right, and you can play at home if you're chatting along, Pat. You can chat. You can chat these in. We're going to start off with Hector. Hector, what was the flavor of the original Pez candy? The original one. What was the first flavor?
Orange?
No. Anybody else have a guess?
Cherry.
Yeah, cherry.
No.
Peppermint.
Peppermint. Nice. GI Dojo. Mike's up 1-0. All right. Oh, by the way, this is called Quiz for the Smart Toy Guys. So apparently, just saying. You're the
I'll
smart
see
toy
myself out.
What was the original occupation of the inventor of the Slinky? And we'll go with Jim.
Chemical engineer.
He was an engineer, but not a chemical engineer.
Well, dang it.
Any guesses?
You know what's funny? I just saw that on TV on
the History Channel.
On the History Channel, Modern Marbles.
Was he aerospace?
No.
No.
Will? Somebody
Mm.
said machinist. No, Ed. No, he was a naval engineer.
Oh,
He was a naval engineer. Nobody got that point. So GI Dojo, you're still up 1. Okay. This came up on an earlier quiz. So if you remember, what was the first toy to be advertised on TV? Mike, GI Dojo.
I'm gonna say Mr. Potato Head.
You are correct, sir. Mr. Potato Head. He is up 2. Michael, you are up, sir. What was the only available color of Play-Doh when it first came out?
I'd say green.
No.
White.
It is white. Jim jumping in with that one.
Man.
Jim's got one on the board. All right.
Accidentally got one there.
All right, Will, here you go, buddy. I got faith in you, man.
All right.
These two countries banned the hula hoop in the 1950s. Who were they? 2 countries.
2 countries. Geez, I'm gonna say ban the hula hoop, huh?
Banned the hula hoop. Too risque. Too risque, man.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Let's go with China and Japan.
Japan is one of them.
Oh wow!
Yes.
And that's just
Anybody else want to guess the next one?
I'd have to maybe say the UK.
No.
Saudi Arabia.
I was gonna say that.
Somebody else that hates us.
Taiwan.
No. Somebody else that hates us. Russia. Who said Russia?
Me.
Right on. You're up one now. All right. The Barbie doll was named after the daughter of Ruth Handler, its inventor. True or false? Hector.
True.
It is true. You got 1 point on the board, sir.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Back to Jim. Back to Jim. What?
Yeah.
You got another color. Another color question. What color was the first Easy Bake Oven? You remember you had this.
Well, yeah, I sure did. Pink.
It was not pink. Anybody?
I'm
Blue.
gonna guess like a mint green.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the color.
It was red.
No. Hector.
Blue.
Turquoise. Turquoise is the answer, gentlemen.
Oh wow.
We are back to Mike's GI Dojo. How many moving? Oh, this is too easy, man. How many moving parts did the first GI Joe doll have?
Oh, You know,
If you don't
I
get
know
this,
off
you're getting
my head.
kicked out of the AOA.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna guess 18 points of articulation.
Oh, Jim, did he say 18?
Yeah.
Michael, what is it?
19.
No.
What?
William,
21.
Gosh.
thank you. God dang, man. 21 movable parts. That was like the commercial, man. Oh, Jeff and Adam are just
He should lose a point for
killing
that.
it. Yeah. Peter chimed in 21. Yeah, absolutely. All right. I guess who would Michael, right?
Yeah, I
Mike,
feel
you had that question?
stupid. No, I need another question.
Yeah, okay. You
I
get
feel
another one. All
stupid
right.
now.
Which came first, the Big Wheel or Hot Wheels?
Ooh. I remember Big Wheel in the 70s. I'll say Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels is the answer. Yes, sir. Yeah. William,
Yes.
Nerf balls and blank were both invented by the same guy. Fill in that blank. It is a game.
The Frisbee. No.
No.
Oh.
Again, it is a game.
Oh, a game.
Anybody?
Lawn darts?
Lawn dart. Yeah.
No.
That's what I was gonna say.
I still have those.
Oh, everybody.
Those
got
would be like the two opposites.
still have
the Nerf ball.
Yeah, no,
and then
they're
the
totally
lawn dart
unrelated.
is
No,
total
this is
danger.
more-
The Nerf ball
think-
is
Think more board game-ish,
Twister.
but still action. Twister. Yeah, who said that?
Oh.
me.
Who just Googled that real quick and found it?
Yeah, hands were
Will.
up the whole time, buddy.
All right. Will, you're up, right?
No, I just went.
You guessed that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hector, we're back to you then. Who was Strawberry Shortcake's nemesis?
Oh, I know this one.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Of course you do, Will. That's
Pineapple
more your era,
shortcake?
right? Strawberry Shortcake. Who was her nemesis?
Don't know.
Will,
It's the,
you're probably the
isn't
only
it
one.
the peculiar purple pie man from Porcupine?
It is the peculiar purple pie
I have a little
man.
sister, and I had to watch the VHS over and over and
Oh
over.
no.
Man.
My little sister watched that too. So,
My daughter has the Strawberry Shortcake Atari game, and it has Purple Pie Man in there.
there you go. All right. We're going to get through this, man. I only got 20 questions.
Oh, dang.
What? Who's up? Jim, you're up.
No.
What's printed on the cheek of every Cabbage Patch Kid?
Oh, God. I don't know. Do not eat.
This is before the child laws or whatever, man. Mike.
No clue.
The signature of Xavier Roberts, the creator.
The owner, yep. The inventor.
Oh,
The name of the
look at that.
inventor.
Hey, there you
The name of the inventor. Dude, you're kicking butt here. All right. Michael, what classic toy has helped soldiers in Iraq find booby traps?
Mousetrap.
No. William, what classic toy has helped soldiers in Iraq find booby traps? And it's a toy that's still available today. It's not like something that's can't find in stores right now. Matter of fact, you can probably find it at Five Below. You can find this at the dollar store, I bet. Did we just lose the internet or everybody go blank?
Oh, I mean, if I can guess,
I'm trying to go to Google here.
I'm gonna guess marbles.
No.
The pool noodle, the foam pool noodle.
No.
How about Jax?
No. Nerf gun. No. Logic Blaster says Nerf gun. Marbles. No. It is. You want the answer? It is silly string. It is silly string.
Silly string.
What they do is when there's a fine line, a tripwire, they spray it, and if it lands on, it's not heavy enough to trip the wire, and it'll lay over it, and they can see it. Yep.
Wow.
All right. I don't know who we're laid off on. So who's up?
Me.
Mike?
Yeah, I think I am.
All right. Which anniversary did the Rubik's Cube celebrate in 2010?
Wow. I guess the 30th.
30th. Man, dude. You're not Googling this shit?
No, I'm on my phone.
That one makes sense.
Streaming
Actually.
from the phone, so yeah.
All right. Michael, Tickle Me Omo created a frenzy during Christmas of what year?
I know that one too.
I'd say about 99.
You said 1999?
Yeah.
No. Close, though. Very close.
Oh,
William,
something
you wanna
just
throw a
happened.
guess?
That was weird.
It was 1996.
That-
1996. Yep.
Yeah.
William,
Yes.
which Care Bear has a rainbow emblazed on her belly? And it's not Rainbow Bear, so don't even.
Cheer? Isn't it Cheer Bear or something?
It is Cheer Bear. You are
Yeah,
correct, sir.
there you go.
Wow.
You did have a little sister, didn't you? You watched it. We are back to Hector. When did Hungry Hippos come out? What year? Hungry Hippos.
69.
69. No. Anybody?
I'd say 61.
No, much later. Much later.
Oh,
You
was
guys
it? I thought. Okay.
I'm gonna guess 78.
78 it is again.
Wow.
Yeah, he's cheating.
Somebody's,
Oh, so earlier than that.
somebody's feeding them answers, man. Skull Review said 86. No. 1978 is the answer. All right.
Wow.
Good job.
Jim, you're not going to know this.
That-
You know what? I'm going to give this one to
figured
William.
I figured it was 82 or 78. Just
I thought that toy helped save Hasbro. I thought that was Hasbro or Kenner. I thought.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it was. I thought it was earlier.
I think it was Kenner. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the ones that, yeah. William, you're probably the only one that's going to know this answer. Transformers were released by Hasbro in 1984. The first generation of these toys included blank Autobots and blank Decepticons. We're looking for two numbers here. How many Autobots were there and how many Decepticons were there?
Oof.
This is the
I
original
don't
ones
think
from
I can even answer that.
1984. No?
The original lot? No, I probably can't answer that.
Yeah, this is
I mean, I start trying to name them. I'm going to
I'd have
say
to guess. Yeah, I'd have to do a ballpark guess.
8 of each.
no.
That's what I'm
Autobots.
gonna say.
Autobots were a lot more than Decepticons.
Hmm.
Anybody? Throw out
Say
two
5
numbers.
and
Hector,
3.
throw me two numbers.
I'll say 6 and 2.
No, there's a lot
5
more.
and 3. Oh no, a lot more.
18
Wow.
and 10.
Oh,
Wow.
18
Yeah.
Autobots, 10 Decepticons.
Yeah, I was trying to name them all in my head, and I just lost track. So I
Big Boss Jack is finally here.
hey,
He's gonna have to watch the show and see how many times his name was mentioned earlier. Glad you could join us, Big Boss Jack. It is not 10 and 10. It is 18 and 10. You had one of them.
Wow.
wow.
We got two questions left. Who's up? We back to Hector.
Yeah.
The Big Wheel was inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame in what year?
How's anybody supposed to know this, Paul?
Hey, it says right here, quiz for the smart toy guys. It says right there. That's why I pulled it out. I figured you guys would know this stuff.
I say, I'll say 2000, year 2000.
No, a little later than that. But yeah, it's 2009. 2009.
Wow.
All right. So all you if anybody's watching in that played video games, this is after my time. The N64 cartridge-based console came out in 1996 and gave the world 2 party games that we love to this day. What are they? Do you remember what came with the N64 console when you bought it? There were 2 games that people still probably play today.
Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong.
No.
Is it the 2 release titles or 2 party games?
Party.
Oh,
Well,
there is
I mean,
Mario Party.
Yeah.
There's a game called Mario Party, right?
that's one of them. Mario Party is one. Yep.
I'm trying to think of what the other one was, though. Super Smash Brothers? Or
Nope.
Smash Brothers 64? No, because that's like one that a lot of people gather
Golden
to
Eye,
play.
Boss Jack. No, that's not it.
I'm trying to think of another party
Yeah,
game.
Mario Party.
And Tim got it. Tim got it. Mario Kart. Mario Kart.
Oh, Mario Kart, yeah.
my wife would have gotten that.
Mm.
She's 12 years younger than me. She would have had that.
That was painful.
Oh,
I gotta bring that one up again.
I say next time we ask Paul a bunch of impossible questions.
There you go. You got my vote.
My show, man. It's my show.
You just
All
turn
right,
it around
we're
on
gonna go
him.
back to Hector. Hector, this is your chance to shine, brother. I'm gonna put you up on the big screen and tell people where they can find you. And if you have a Etsy store or eBay, this is your 5 minutes of fame, bro. In 30 seconds.
If I'm always open for suggestions. If there's something that you're looking to make for your G.I. Joe figures or prop or something, just let me know what you're looking for. I can help you. I will try to help you to make it a reality. Same thing with decals or stickers. Take a look at what I have on eBay. See if it works for you. If you're looking for something like that, or if you have an idea of something you're looking to get done, just let me know.
Mention that eBay again. What was the eBay?
Yeah, what's your eBay store?
Ortiz or HDO. Ortiz HDO. Sorry, got confused there. Ortiz HDO is my account name.
Yep.
And the truth of the matter is that I sell them, but I do it for fun. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy my collection. I'm a true. I believe I'm a G.I. Joe fan, and I love the toy, and it's just fun. I'm always thinking of things to make, or things to do for the figures. I can show you real quick as we're still here. I went to Walmart, a few months. It's been a little while back, and I found this little crate. They're not very expensive.
Yep.
So
yep.
I bought a whole bunch. I painted them and I made stickers for them. So I can put it's a little storage bin.
Yep.
So I'm always thinking of things to help my G.I. Joe figures sure. Be more comfortable, put the stuff away neatly. So it's just fun. It's just fun. And now that I was doing that when I was working. Now that I'm retired, so I find myself a lot more time to just sit in my room, my little room here, and I look around and say, what else can I make for these guys? And I'm sure they appreciate it. We all know they come to life at night. Okay, we all know that. They talk among each other, so I want to make sure they're comfortable where they are. So, but I know I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for having me. It's a great collection. I'm a Joe head. I will always be a Joe head. Love what I do, and so again, if I can help in any way to make something a reality, just let me know. I'll do my best.
Well, you're a Joe head, and now you're an Axis of Awesome head as well. 3 or 4 of the members are here, and Michael, I don't know. Do you want to be a part of this Axis of Awesome group? Because
Absolutely.
some people have, they need a couple days to weigh it. Like Will, when I offered it to Will, he's like, "Can I think about it for a couple days and get back to you?"
It's not true
I,
at all.
I intend, now that I'm mobile now, I intend on getting a channel started over the winter and just showcase everything. Here's my Sea Adventure. My favorite G.I. Joe always was Sea Adventure.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Post him
That
up.
is really nice.
Yeah.
That is
very
nice.
Very cool.
Nice.
All right. Well, Big Boss Jack says we got to make this Canadian. I think you're our first Canadian to be in the Axis of Awesome. So
awesome.
Congratulations, brother. And we'll have to get Big Boss Jack on the show now. Make him a member. And so. Well, hey, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Don't forget, next Monday, same time. And Will, you can start doing your push-ups now for being late.
Thank you.
As we sign off. Have a good night, everybody.
Enjoy.
Guys, appreciate it.